Deb, I just want to say they could never make me like you. And that's probably what gives this show a little bit more credence for me. If you guys are new here, though, my name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And I'm here to put you on back with a new segment of what I want to call Should You Watch It? Right? Should you watch it? And I'll let you know if you should or shouldn't, right? And so let's get right into Dexter Original Sin episode 1 and in the beginning. So, just to give you a background, we are starting off where that little debacle of a spinoff they did ended, right? Dexter, spoilers ahead if you haven't watched any of the other Dexter franchise, but his son tries to take him out, right? He's being rushed to the hospital. And again, I thought he was good and gone. I thought he was in the snow bleeding out. I thought it was over with and done. Well, apparently not, because they're actually going to have a 2025 summer spinoff, Resurrection. And so this is how it opens up. He is on the table doing all of the things, trying to be brought back to life. And he flashes all the way back to his birth and his mother. Enter Dexter as a pre-med student with Harry Morgan, a police officer, detective, who is his father, his annoying sister Deb, and so begins Dexter. Now, if you know anything about Dexter from the original series, you know that he's him. And there's nothing anyone could do to ever make me hate him. He is a vigilante with a code, right? He does have a dark passenger. However, he lives by a code and he really does his best to only unalive the people who are deserving of it. I'm just going to set it right there. How can you be mad at him? And so in this, we are really getting the origins. We are starting out not from adolescence. We saw a lot during the original show where we'd flash back to him as a young boy and Harry fathering him, finding out about his affinity to taking out animals, this bloodlust, this desire, and how they're going to create a plan to quench that. This is now, their plan is almost fully realized. And so he's in pre-med to become a surgeon because maybe cutting into people on the table and saving lives can satiate this thing. Well, we find out no. And so throughout this first episode, we're really finding out how he ends up on the force, who his first unaliving was, and the relationship between his dad and his sister. We also find out that Harry had another son who, while he was drinking it up, drowned in the pool. And so again, things are making sense, things are not. I want to take a moment just to give them a shout out. I think that using Michael C. Hall's voice as the narration of the dark passenger, of Dexter's conscience, these thoughts he's having, I think that was genius because it keeps us rooted in the original story. Because a lot of times, especially with a prequel, you can be completely thrown off unless it's executed perfectly. They paid careful attention to casting, I feel like, with everyone except for Deb. Deb has never looked this good a day in her life. Still very annoying, but I was really surprised about their choice in actress for the young Deb. But again, it gives Deb the Deb that we knew, the Deb that we loathed. Well, at least me, I couldn't stand Deb. But everyone else, I think, is so spot on. I'm very, very curious to see how this medical examiner, this forensic investigator played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, how this is going to go, being that she will be Dexter's mentor as a young man. Very excited to watch this show progress, these characters evolve into the people that we met so many years later. Really excited. So, the verdict. Should you watch it? Absolutely. If you were a Dexter aficionado, a fan, if you love the first seasons of the original series, this is definitely a love letter to that. I think they're doing a great job. I think the casting of young Dexter is spot on. I think he's doing a great job. And like I said, it really, really helps that Michael C. Hall is narrating this as we're walking through this journey. So excited. Definitely watch it. And even if you haven't watched Dexter, I think this is a good entry point. Again, it's the prequel. We're starting out at the beginning or at the virtual beginning. And I think you'll catch on. The story is intriguing enough. I think they're laying a good foundation, the groundwork, and we're literally going to see how he builds into the Dexter that we came to either know and love or know and hated. But you guys drop it in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of episode 1. I think this is something I'll want to talk about weekly because it was really good. I enjoyed this. Again, a couple notes here and there. I feel like we could. I felt like there is some levity. Now there is some levity to the original show. But of course you get moments like that, which I think again is a nod to that. So it'll just be a matter of taste as it relates to that. But I really enjoyed it. You guys. Now that we talked about should you watch or not, let's talk about what happened in the first episode of Dexter Original Sin, episode 1, and in the beginning. As it opens up, Dexter is being rushed to the emergency room after his son has made an attempt on his life, honey. We saw it, and I thought the son had got the job done with his sorry self, right? But we see no, he's actually having a moment. I've taken so many people to the brink of this. Now I'm here. What's next? And so then we see him flash all the way back to when he's born. So begins his story. As we are introduced to Dexter in this new series, he is a pre-med student about to graduate from undergrad, ready to go to medical school in an attempt to satiate these demons, right? Because listen, at the end of the day, he got to take somebody out, all right? And so he's there, he's doing all of the final college things. Deb is here, as annoying as she wants to be. And Harry is right there holding his hand because we have a plan, all right? We know who you are. I know about these desires. And this is what you need to do. Go to medical school, become a surgeon, and it's going to make everything better. When we are introduced to them, Deb gets invited to this college party, honey. And again, one thing about Deb, in any iteration, she's going to be aggy as hell. She's going to be annoying as hell. She is going to be terrible. And the young Deb is absolutely no different. It gives she despises Dexter. All right. Now, I don't know if this is normal. I don't think this is normal brother sister relationships. It's not a brother sister relationship I ever had with any of my brothers. But hey, maybe it's a thing. She wants to go to this frat party. She can't go without him. He goes. Deb is drinking from cups that she isn't fully watching and is almost SA. Dexter has to come in, save the day, almost unalives the boy because, again, these cravings are getting stronger and stronger, and cutting up that cadaver just didn't do it, all right? Deb, in her feelings, decides that she is going to knock Dexter out because what are you doing? You embarrassed me in front of everyone. Dexter's like, hey, he was literally going to take it. And again, she's just so oblivious. It's just annoying to me. All very annoying. He has a job fair at school. While this is going, Harry is investigating a crime where two young people were unalived and they are looking for the unaliver, right? Meanwhile, back on campus, there's a job fair. The police department, the forensic department is there, and they've got pictures on a bulletin board. And immediately Dexter's like, did the same person in this crime? Maybe something to think about, right? So he drops that little seed and goes on about his business, gets home, they get home late from the party that night. Harry's waited up and they remember that they're going fishing or hunting the next morning. So Dexter gets up, goes with him while they're out there, and Dexter's really talking about these cravings, these desires are not stopping, they're getting stronger. I don't think this is going to work. He's confessing, telling everything that happened at the party with Deb and the guy. Harry has a heart attack in the woods, and we've got to get him to help. So he's in the hospital, and he makes it through the hard part of it, or so, and we think he's doing better. And then all of a sudden he's getting worse. And I'm like, what's about to happen? Because I remember from the original series that Harry does not make it, but I couldn't remember the cause of his not being here anymore. So Dexter's getting suspicious. Like you said, he was going to be fine, but he's getting worse every day. This nurse is coming in. She's injecting him every day. Honey, come to find out, the nurse got a dark passenger as well. And he recognizes it. And Dexter is elated, not only because he's going to be able to save his father, but because he's about to get all of this out of him, right? Meanwhile, Deb is oblivious to everything. She thinks her brother is just another horny teen. And Dexter's in there with his own little mag of serial unalivers. So he ain't about no poo nanny. He worried about this kill. That's what Dexter Morgan is worried about. And so again, and that's always the part of the story that really was a blunder for me because Deb, how were you so oblivious? I think because she's so self-important. Everything's about her. And so I guess it makes sense, just the type of character that she is. We get to meet the new police force. And again, this is perfect casting for the most part. I love seeing Patrick Dempsey in the series. He's the captain, and just rough kind of captain who is like, we need to get this done. I really, really enjoyed that. And so anyway, Dexter comes to the conclusion, lets his dad know. Dad's like, I don't want any more medication. And he's like, you got to stop her. And Dexter's like, say less. Baby, he pulls out that plastic. And again, this is his first time. So Dexter is just fumbling all over everything with this first unaliving. But the nurse deserved it. She had a whole binder of all the people that she done took out this earth. She said, listen, they lived and partied it up. They don't deserve to live. So I'm here to take them out. And Dexter got her good. But missed Deb's game in the meantime. And why did he miss Deb's game when he promised? Because again, it's all about her. It seems like just a couple of moments later, Dexter graduates from undergrad and he has made a decision that will shock the nation. Harry's all better. He's coming home and Dexter is walking in on his first day, much to the chagrin of Harry, at the police department where he is going to be working in the forensic department. And so starts the legacy and the era of the Dexter that we know. Again, super excited about this. Again, I love that Michael C. is narrating this. I think that's amazing. I think it keeps us grounded and connected with the original series. I love the casting. Again, I was surprised at Deb. I was surprised at the casting for Deb. But other than that, I think it's on the nose. I'm really excited to see about this dynamic between Dexter and this character played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, because I believe she's going to be a mentor to him, at least in the forensic department. But you guys drop it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Any predictions? Are you here for this? Are you completely sat for this series? I know I am, and I'll be talking about it weekly. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.